Yo, what's good everyone and welcome back. Today we're pushing Chroma Prime with the Quellor to level cap, doing damage cap as well. This isn't about flexing, the goal is to test investment value so you don't waste your forma. But can it actually survive and scale? And most importantly, does it remain consistent once enemy EHP scale and become ridiculous? Let's get into it. Before investing into any build in Warframe for weapons or Warframes, always check Warframe Wiki. The in-game UI hides massive amount of information like hidden multipliers, statue interactions, details, everything you need to know, and that's very important to create a very powerful builds in Warframe. Now, DVS system. This is the foundation almost every level cap setup I use. D stands for how you deal damage, what elements you use, what's the faction you're fighting. V, how you proc 10 stacks of viral to make enemies vulnerable by 325% more damage to their HP. S stands for stripping enemies armor. You lower their armor, you lower their damage reduction, you deal higher damage. But in Warframe, you can do things in many different ways, so I prepared this sheet here for you to help you maneuver around my methods to find your own style. The reason we go to level cap not to flex, but because enemies scale on EHP, effective hit points. The higher level they are, the more HP, shield and overguard, and I want to show you your investment at enemies prime level. Also, they increase on their damage output, and you wanna test your Warframe survivability as well at that level. Now, in Warframe, not like any other game, when you lose your shield you don't die, you enter gate phase, you're gonna become invulnerable, depends on how much shields you have, that will reflect how many seconds you'll be invulnerable. But in Warframe, there is something else you need to know. When you lose all your shields, you need 4 seconds to start regenerating. If you lose some of your shields, you will need 1 second to start regenerating. And if you're taking damage, you can't regenerate shields. So how you do it? If you want to regenerate your shields, you want to use Aura like Brief Respite or Ogre mods, or you use Helmet ability like Pillage or Condemn and so on, or you use the Arcane Aegis to regenerate shields, and it ignores the fact that you're taking damage cannot regenerate shields, so you're gonna become immortal for that 12 seconds. One thing I always want people to remember, Warframe gives players a lot of freedom. Don't blindly copy builds, understand why things work, then adapt them to your own play style. Some players want maximum damage, others prefer comfort, others want survivability, some want speed. The best builds are the ones that fit your gameplay loop consistently. That means you can find many builds in the internet, and even mine, and it may not fit your style 100%, but you can inspire from it and balance it to scale all the way to the end game. This is not only level cap build, but this is a build that can go from level 1 to the level cap, because balancing between the damage and survivability is the most important key for scalable builds. And because enemy scale at level cap becomes insane and EHP skyrockets and enemy damage skyrockets and suddenly bad builds get exposed immediately, that's why I take my setups to level 9199, but to validate performance under the highest possible pressure. Because a build that feels strong at level 200 can completely collapse later. Either you're dead with so much damage, or you're doing so much damage and you're dead, or you alive but you don't do so much damage, and you get the point. And now let's take beginners friendly approach for Chroma Prime, but we'll be quick about it because we have a lot of videos about Chroma in the channel, you can check them out. His passive, Wing Sprout for additional bullet jump and jump. Look at that. Now if you jump, look at that. You see the wings right there? They keep you longer in the air. Also his passives allows you to go to appearance and change the emissive right here. Okay, now moving on to first ability, Spectral Scream. Inhale a deep breath of elemental destruction, tap to cycle through elements, hold to cast, then the chosen element applies to all Chroma's abilities. That's very important to know and keep in mind. Afterburn is the augment. Now, here we go. Now, the cycling doesn't show here, but it's okay. We're just gonna tap, there we go, and hold, boom, that's electricity. Now, if we tap once more, hold, that's heat. Now, if we tap and hold, that's cold. Now, if we tap and hold, I'm doing this blindly, boys, but you get the point of the cycling. Okay. Now, of course, there's more to the ability. You can check Warframe Wiki for that. Elemental Ward, depending on Chroma element, aligns an offensive area of effect. It creates Chroma and its nearby allies are imbued with defensive energy. Now, Heat gives you health, damage, second, and blah, 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 but that's not only it. The ability changes depends on the element. I'm going to show you in a second. Everlasting Ward, allies that leaves that radius will retain the effect for 100% of the remaining duration. But if we go really quick to Wiki, and we check the second ability. There you go. Heat. Generate a flame around Chroma. The effect allows increase health by percentage. Heat damage per second with a radius of, that's like 5 meters with percentage of status chance. The radius of this damage effect is not increased with any ability range. The health bonus stack additively with health modifiers such as vitality and so on. And this is the math. Electricity infuses Chroma and affects allies with an electric current that increases shield by percentage and converts incoming damage into arc charges. An arc discharge inflicts percentage of incoming damage as electricity damage to a single target with 10 meters and so on, and percentage status chance. Arc discharge will inflict a minimum damage of electricity damage rank, and you can see right here. And toxin emits an aura of noxious fumes around Chroma and affect allies that increase reload speed by percentage, as well weapon damage when holstering by percentage with a radius of 5 meters. The noxious fumes also have percentage chance per second to deal 5% of an enemy maximum health as toxin damage with 100% status chance, and more to it. For the cold, increase Chroma and affect allies in a layer of frost, increase armor by percentage, increase an ice shield that reflects incoming attack back to their resource. Reflecting damage is converted to cold damage and multiplied by percentage and has a percentage of statue chance, and you can read the rest. So you can see Tano, Warframe Wiki tells you more than what just the game tell you in here. Fix armor. Chroma fortifies squad armor when his shield are damaged or he kills an enemy with a melee weapon. He increases squad weapon damage when he loses health or he kills an enemy with ranged weapon, double the effect on weak point kills. That means if you kill enemies with your weapon, Quellor, we're gonna increase of the damage. If you kill them with the weapon and all, like the melee weapon and all, you will increase your defenses armor. Now it got an augment vexing retaliation and got the guardian armor. Now the ability is really simple and easy to use, not so hard. You activate the ability. Now the kills we get, boom, and charge. Look at that, boom, boom, and now we start building up the fury right here. Okay, let's take this one out. Activating Vex. There you go. We got it right here. Fury. Increase weapon damage. Okay. Simple and easy to understand. Fourth ability, Effigy. Chroma turns his spells into a massive sentry that strengthens nearby allies and engulfs enemy in elemental attacks. Credit multiply. Now we use this mainly for credits in my opinion, but of course you can use it in different ways here and there, but I use it mainly for credits. Guided effigy, cast and hold to make effigy moves to your aim point, deals 400 damage per second. I really don't like focus on this much unless I am going for credit farm with profit taker. There you go, simple and easy. Okay, all right, there you go, and there you get it. And that's Chroma abilities. Now let's go really quick to check the Quellor right here. Now we scroll all the way down on wiki again and we see known bugs. Galvanized aptitude is multiplicated to base damage sources on direct hit from alt fire, and that's very important. That means more priming, more damage as it goes multiplicatively. And now for the build, we'll be running 2 Emerald Archon shards to push the stacks of corrosive from 10 to 14 to armor strip enemies with our primer, and we'll be using the Compressor Prime right here for priming. The reason I use Compressor Prime, procs the viral, the corrosive, the heat, the magnetic against enemies overguard and all. And in the future, for a lot of new Thanos, I will make a guide about the elements in Warframe and all, and secondary encumber for more steady effects. Remember, because the multiplicative of galvanized aptitude. Now, we're gonna be using 1, 2, 3 Tau Forged Violet Archon shards, gain 45% primary electricity damage, gain additional 15% per Crimson Azure or Violet Archon shards equipped to the electricity will combine with mods. Simple and easy. Now, the build we're going to be using is Nourish. The reason I use Nourish in here for energy, of course, and also for the viral as well, so we guarantee more procs of viral with our primer. And on top of all that, it is good to have it for future builds where I use corrosive as an element. Brief respite for casting an ability goes into shields, but primed sure-footed to resist knockdown, primed flow for energy max, redirection for shield capacity, we have 2.4 seconds, umbral intensify for strength, the fast deflection for shield recharge and minus shield recharge delay, ogre message for duration, rolling guard on dodge, become invulnerable for bad situations and cleanse you from bad static effects, fortitude for strength, negative ability duration, and the primed continuity right here for ability duration. All we need from this build is the elemental ward and the Vex Fury. These two is what we're looking for to activate, and that's it. Now and of course nourish. Now arcane aegis, when your shield is damaged, 3% chance for 30% shield recharge for 12 seconds. When this is active, you're pretty much immortal. Arcane energize for energy, of course, and that's pretty much it. Now of course you can push higher and higher and higher for strength, but there is no balance in there. What's totally up to you, what you want and how you want to approach the build. For the Thanos that watching this and okay, Hank, I like the build, but I don't have any of those primed modes. Now primal sure-footed is hard to reach for a lot of new Thanos, so I highly recommend you use handspring right here, or you can use the normal sure-footed. And you need to start building up in your brain, Thanos, that every primed mode or galvanized mode has its normal version. So use the normal version until you get the primed one. It doesn't mean the build will not work for you. It will be less powerful, yes, but that's the only option you have. Use the normal version until, for example, I don't have Umbral Intensify because I didn't do the sacrificial quest. It's okay. I can use the normal Intensify until I finish the quest. Okay? I don't have the primed redirection. I can use the normal redirection until I finish and I get my, let's say, the primed redirection. Flow the same. Every single mod has its normal version if it's primed or galvanized. Okay? Keep that in mind, Thanos. Now, we'll be running, first of all, unique trait. Alternate fire charges a short-range cold blast capable of piercing enemies. Rifle elementalist multiplicative set to damage and punch through. Slash, heat, electricity, toxin, blast and gas. Blast check, electricity check, and we're good to go. Primed Bane of Orokin is multiplicative damage to faction you're fighting. You replace this every time you're fighting a different faction. I know, sometimes it gets so overwhelming, so you can replace that if you want with Hunter Munition, or you can replace it, let's say, with Hammer Shot, if you want to, or you can replace it with the magnetic capacity. The weapon has 91%. It's okay, forgiving, not so bad, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, now the galvanized aptitude is a must here. 80% statue chance on kill, 40% direct damage per statue type affecting the target. That's why we're priming the enemy. Critical delay for critical chance and -5 rate. Primary equity for weak point damage and 350% weak point critical chance. Multi-shot cannot be modified. Vital sense for critical damage. Thermal rounds for heat and serration for damage. Primed rifle ammo mutation converts secondary ammo pickups to 92% of ammo pickups. Primary deadhead for more headshot multiplier and more damage and weapon recoil, and that's pretty much it. Now if you have a Riven, for example, CCCD heat, thermal rounds, CCCD maybe damage, you can replace serration, CCCD multiplicative damage to faction, primed Bane of Orokin. Let me know in the comment section below what's your Riven so I can help you place it on the build. Now that's pretty much it. For our companion, as always, we use Nautilus to grab in enemies and get us the Tenacious Bond and the Reinforced Bond. But Tenacious Bond, you will need a sentient weapon with 50% critical chance. I use the best sentient weapon in the game for damage, which is Veriglass, but it needs a Riven with CC, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so let's do now some testing. Now we're going to summon a level 210 heavy corrupted gunners. We activate our Vex, Nourish, second ability, and then we prime them, and I'll fire, boom, boom. We need to collect, that's 1 billion. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Okay, how much we got? We got 500. Now of course you can use Madurai to increase your strength, and there is a lot of things you can do. I just try to minimize the synergy, not to make it too complicated. It's like pick your Warframe. It's like pick your Warframe and go. That's the idea here. Okay, pick your Warframe and the weapon and just go. Alright, I didn't want to make it too complicated or hard for the Thanos to copy. There you go, and that's your damage cap, and you're set and good. So overall, how good is Chroma with the Quellor at level cap? Damage scaling, excellent. Survivability very strong once the loop is mastered, then you know exactly how things function. And consistency better than expected, to be honest. Weaknesses, in my opinion, energy management can become annoying at some point when you are under heavy attacks and the shield recharge doesn't work properly, but positioning make mistakes less problematic. So if you know how to move away from certain enemies, you're gonna be fine. So overall, I generally rate this setup, let's say 9 out of 10, but it is not a brainless gameplay 10. I would say the Quellor is designed for single targeting, massive takeout, and I would say it is designed for disruption, and this weapon is absolutely insane on disruption. You can just destroy everything. You can destroy any single target with this very high damage. This weapon doesn't joke at all, but honestly, the Quellor deserves way more attention than it actually gets, really. So I want to say a huge thank you to all members and subscribers and everyone supporting the channel. I appreciate all the feedback, testing ideas and discussions from the community. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out Discord in the description, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And let me know down below what Warframe should I go level cap next or weapon. Thanks you to all members, special VIPs, and dispute donators, all of donations, everyone in my community, and the viewer of the month, and the top bids. And see you guys on the next video. Big love to you all.